Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Real Football Network. I'm Jim Miller. Well, it's another week on the college scene. We need to dive into the Mizzou Tigers. That's right, Missouri Tigers. It's homecoming. They're 4-1. They get set to face an undefeated. How about the Florida Gators under Jim McElwain? Off to a great start. They are 5-0. And how about them hammering Ole Miss last week, 38-10? Ole Miss, they were ranked third in the country, while Florida Gators took care of that. I love this Florida Gator team. If you look on this roster, they've got a ton of young players, 25 freshmen that are getting a lot of playing time for the Florida Gators. So in the future, there's going to be a lot of potential draft picks that are coming out of the swamp down there in Florida. Let's talk about their prospects because they got a great secondary, and two of them are going to be draftable guys for the Florida Gators. Let's start first with Vernon Hargreaves III, cornerback. 5'11", 198 pounds. He's only a junior, has punt return ability. He's an All-American and also was the SEC first-team player at cornerback a year ago. Off to a great start his first 2 years, had 6 interceptions, already has topped that. He's got 3 this year alone, so 9 total for his career as a Florida Gator. Just an all-around great prospect. He's strong, he's physical, he's a willing tackler, can play press man coverage, you name it, he can do it. A lot of people think he's definitely a first rounder. Some have him going in the top 10. That may be a stretch. We see corners go really in those the middle teens, I think, is where the first ones start to come off the board. But keep your eye on Hargreaves. He is an outstanding player for Florida. When you look at Brian Poole, here's another cornerback. 5'10", 208 pounds, a little bit beefier and stockier in terms of his play. 40 games he's played in, 21 starts for as a Florida Gator. Plus, he led the team in interceptions a year ago with 4 interceptions. I don't think Brian Poole gets the love he deserves. A lot of people have him as a late-round draft pick, 6th, 7th round. Think he goes a lot higher than that, maybe 5th, potentially 4th round, because right now he's rated the number 1 cover corner in the SEC. What do I mean by that? In terms of passes defended. Teams are challenging Brian Poole, but he's living up to the challenge. He bats down a lot of passes and is a really good football player. So look for him in the probably 5th, potentially 4th round, I think you're looking at for Brian Poole. Let's keep it on the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk about a defensive end, Jonathan Bullard. This guy gets to the quarterback. He's 6'3", 277 pounds. Currently, right now, he ranks 4th in the nation for tackles for loss. Right now, he's got 9.5 on the season. Great pass rusher, good ability in terms of scheme versatility because he's played all along the defensive line at Florida, and he's just a strong run defender. For 277 pounds, this guy can anchor as good as anybody. Comes with a lot of game experience as well. 41 games he's appeared in, 26 starts for Jonathan Bullard, defensive end for Florida. Keep your eye on him. How about the next player on the offensive side of the ball? Let's talk about the tight end, Jake McGee. He's a redshirt senior. He got granted a 6-year of eligibility because he broke his leg in 2014. He transferred from University of Virginia. He used to be a Cavalier, had a ton of receptions there, 71 as a Cavalier for 769 yards and 7 touchdowns. Already off to a great start as a Florida Gator. Last 3 games alone, he's had 14 receptions and a touchdown. 56% of his catches either go for a first down or a touchdown when you look at Jake McGee. Just a steady Eddie player, willing to make the tough catch. 6'5", 243 pounds, good route running ability, not your best blocker when you look at Jake McGee. He just moves the chains, what you want. How about Demarcus Robinson? This wide receiver. He's a junior, 6'1", 197 pounds. A lot of people project him as a second-round draft pick. If this guy stays in college, next year I think he would be a first-rounder is what I'd look at him as. But when you look at Demarcus Robinson, here's what you love about him. In Jim McElwain's system, a lot of it is run after the catch. And that's where Robinson really makes his say. A lot of yak yardage in terms of his ability, very elusive in terms of his start and stop ability, and he's got really great acceleration once he catches a football in terms of the start, stop, accelerate, and then get open and make a move on a defender. For him right now, 8 receptions, 98 yards, and that was last week alone versus Ole Miss. I think this guy is going to continue to just really rack up the yardage in his ability and what he can do as the season rolls along and as he gets more comfortable in McElwain's system. Outstanding player. Think if he comes out, be borderline second, first round. Next year, definitely if he came out, if he waited another year for a junior, he would be a first round draft pick. Now let's flip over to Missouri. When you look at the Mizzou Tigers, Kentrell Brothers, he's an inside backer, 6 foot, 238 pounds. He is a redshirt senior, and this guy, he's just a good playmaker. For him, he's not probably doesn't have the greatest athletic ability, but he survives on his ability to key and diagnose and his ability to read. He's always around the football at the end of the day. Already 2 interceptions on the year, 59 tackles on the season. That leads the team, and he's just a tough, disciplined player that's going to be a solid football pro. Many project him to be a third rounder. How about Evan Bayham? He is a center. He is a senior. He is huge for a center. 6'3", 320 pounds. Just your typical Coke machine. He's not going to go anywhere. Really has the ability to anchor. Really good shotgun snaps. Not a great athlete that you'd want at the center position, but if you just want a stocky guy that's not going to pull a lot, this would be your guy when you look at Evan Bayham. Really good upper body strength in leg drive. He's not going anywhere. Solid football player. I think people have him ranked in the 5th round is where he's projected to go. Last guy we need to talk about for the Mizzou Tigers, how about Connor McGovern? He's listed as an offensive guard, 6'4", 304 pounds. A lot of people don't have a report on him. He's projected to be a late round draft pick, but watch this week versus Florida because Connor McGovern, he's going to be lining up at left tackle. So we'll see his ability in space and see where his athleticism is at, and if he can handle it at the next level. Is projected as a guard, but check him out as a tackle and see if he offers you that position versatility. We'll find that out this weekend against the Florida Gators. Should be a good one. It's homecoming for the Mizzou Tigers, but man, this Florida Gator team, I'm telling you, they got a ton of talent, and Jim McElwain's got them off to a great start at 5-0. Take the Gators because they are just too strong of a football team and will get stronger as the season rolls along. For the Real Football Network, I'm Jim Miller. Thanks for watching.